Previously on Moments with MWARGJ. Was saying, be careful who you decide to call your friend, because not everybody is deserving of that title. Not everybody is deserving of the title friend. Let me say that again. Not everyone in your life is deserving or worthy of having the title friend. Refuse to let no man or any woman try to destroy what God has blessed you with. Hang around and associate with people that are God-driven, that no matter what the obstacle is, they are God-fearing, they are God-loving, they care about God. Because let me tell you something, if they care about God, they'll care about you. If they love God, then they're going to love you. Let me tell you something, Jesus is your best friend. He is your best friend. I don't know any other person that will lay down their life just for me. They have so many stripes taken out on them, beaten 39 times, just and be crucified just for their brother or their sister. Hello everybody, good evening and happy Tuesday to you all. I hope that you are great, and I hope that you all have had a terrific and fantastic day so far. Welcome to this week's episode of Moments with MWARGJ. I am Anthony Gardner Jr., your host, and it is a pleasure to be with you all once again this evening, this Tuesday, April the 20th, 2021. I would like to go ahead and welcome you all. Take a moment to please share this video. With someone, there's someone out there that maybe have had a rough day and needs some words of encouragement, inspiration, and truly tonight's episode will be able to give them what they need. So go ahead and do that for me. Alright, so today's inspirational moment is: your hardest times often lead to the greatest moments of your life. Keep the faith, it will all be worth it in the end. You know, we go through some things and we may say, well, this seems like this is going to beat me, this is beyond me, I shouldn't be going through this, you know. And oftentimes that very thing that we're going through that we seem like we can't get through is what keeps us going, and we overcome it. So as long as we keep our faith in God, as long as we keep our trust in God, knowing and continuing to pray, knowing that He will take care of us, then that's all that really matters to. That's all that really matters at the end. So keep your faith, keep trusting Him in anything, in the roughest time that you're going through. You'll get through it. Alright, so we do not have any announcements, but I do want to thank everybody that faithfully participated and played a part in my latest fundraiser. Thank you so much, I really appreciate you all. I am still working on another fundraiser to raise the remaining amount that I have to gather, so I will keep you all up to date for that. But I do want to let you all know that my single will be released very soon. The specific date will be released at a later time, but I would like to thank you all so much for your support, dedication, and prayers, and also to those of you that donated and also assisted me in selling the donut certificates. All right, this week we have a special guest. This week's topic is preparing for the unexpected with my special guest and friend, Delrick Reed, and we will be talking about preparing for the unexpected because life happens. Not to say that we're going anywhere anytime soon, but who knows? We do not know the day or the hour that Jesus will return. So let us be prepared. And can I get an amen on that? All right, so without further ado, you all enjoyed this week's episode. I hope that you all learned something out of it, and you all take care, and I'll see you right back here on next Tuesday at 7 o'clock p.m. God bless you. Hello to everybody. Happy Tuesday. I hope that you all are doing well. As I discussed a few weeks ago, we do have our special guest, my friend Delrick Reed. We will be talking about preparing for the unexpected. I'm going to bring him on and he will be just introducing himself to you all and also telling you all a little bit about him, and we can go from there. So without further ado, Delrick, how are you doing today?
Man, I'm awesome. I'm great, man. Thank you
That's
for having me.
You're welcome. All right, hold on a second. All right, Delrick, you can go ahead and share with our viewers a little bit about you.
Yeah. So my name is Delrick. I am from Mississippi. I live in Mississippi. I actually stay in Tupelo, which is Northeast Mississippi. I am currently a life insurance agent. I love what I do. I love helping, serving, and educating people about why it's so important to have insurance. Before that, I actually was working at Toyota, and I caught COVID around 4 months ago, and it really just made me think that, like, hey, I really don't want to spend my life doing this. And so here I am in the insurance business. I love it. And yeah, that's pretty much me in a glance.
Okay, well that's awesome, and we all have things that we desire to do, and sometimes our current situation, our current job or career isn't, how can I say this, isn't always going to be that. And so I'm glad that you found out what you desire, what you really want to do. I mean, you're running with it.
Yeah, I didn't think I was going to do insurance, but the opportunity came up, and it was kind of like, hey, I can use my strengths, which is communication, right? I love talking to people. Um, I like to speak in front of people. Those were my strengths. And so this job on this career allows me to do exactly that and to help people, get life insurance and be comfortable and understand the necessity of it. So yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And I'm gonna get where I'm going, but not many people get life insurance because they don't know the whole logistics of it. And so when you're not educated about a certain thing, you're more than likely you're not going to be interested in it. So what you said makes great sense and very important.
Yes.
All right. So, all right, first question is going to be, what does it mean to prepare for the unexpected?
Okay. So all right. So here's the funny thing about that in relationship to life insurance. That question is, so number one is you have to face the fact that someday we're all going to pass, right? We're going to transition. It's inevitable. We have to be able to just accept that, and with that acceptance comes a preparation, right? Some of us, if not most of us, right, we have kids or we have loved ones, and along with accepting the fact that, hey, I'm going to pass away someday, also be like, okay, well, if I have kids, right, I want them to be able to properly bury me without the stress and the trauma that comes along with that. And a lot of people don't understand that that's the part of it. Now, just imagine, right? I've heard this was a story from one of my friends,
Mm-hmm.
in the insurance business. She had a grandmother pass away, and she had to travel from Texas
Uh-huh.
all the way to Michigan. And she got there. There was no insurance put on her, and they basically they had to come up with the money, right? And we're talking about someone, her grandmother raised her,
Wow.
took care of her, right? And she didn't have any insurance. And so the trauma and just the hardship and the stress of that alone, it's a lot. And,
Yes, it
you
is.
know, and along with understanding that, hey, I'm going to pass away someday, there must be an initiative to say, okay, well, also, I may have some debt, right? Because a lot of people don't know this. When you
Uh-huh.
have debt, that debt doesn't go away when you pass.
No, it
That debt's
doesn't.
going to go to the next person. And so you need to make sure that you're covered with that. You need to make sure that your burial expenses are covered. And you just want to make sure that the burial process is going to go smooth for your kids, or your whoever your beneficiary is going to be, right? Your sister, mom, dad,
Yeah.
anything like that. So yes, you want to be prepared for that.
Yes, I just know where you're trying to be prepared because you never know what is going to be expected. So I
Hmm.
agree with you on that.
Yes.
All right. So next question. A viewer may be asking, when is the right time to prepare? So what do you have to say about that?
Now, ASAP, like right now. Even even if you're my age, right? I'm 25,
Mm,
and you know, I would have never known before I worked this job that life insurance was really that important. Like it would never cross my mind. Um, my mom and dad really never just talked to me about life insurance. I actually had to put my mom on life insurance a couple of months back because she didn't have any. And that's really a common thing. A lot of people are not educated about life insurance. And
okay.
so please start now. And the reason you need to start now is because as you age, right, we don't know the time of the day.
No,
And if we decide like, hey, I'm not gonna die soon, how about I just wait a couple of years? Well, most likely what's gonna happen is you're probably gonna forget, and you're not gonna prioritize, and you're gonna prolong that. And lost my train of thought. And this is why I push people that are my age to get life insurance, because it's cheaper or less expensive. And once you get it now, you don't have to worry about it, right? It's taken care of, right? Your family, or if you don't have a kid, right? The next person who's going to receive my benefits when I pass, they're good, right? They don't have to come out of pocket for any of my expenses. Like I got that taken care of. So now's the time to prepare. Don't wait. Do not wait around.
I agree. And then when it comes to if that person passes, and they don't have life insurance, all of that does fall on the other person. And I know that they can be a bit of a burden
Mm-hmm.
to the person that it falls on because they're already dealing with what they're dealing with, and they
Yes,
have to deal with something else from someone else that can put a heavy burden on a person. I
exactly.
agree when it said, I do agree. Now is the time. Like you said, you never know the hour or the day, but although we know, um, some may know that you now, how can I put this? I know I'm not going anywhere anytime soon because I have work to do or what have you, but it's always good to be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
So I do agree with you on that. Let's see. All right, number 3. What are some ways of preparing for the unexpected?
Um. So that kind of goes back to question 2.
Uh-huh.
Um. Just if okay, this is how I will answer that question. So if
Uh-huh.
you're like me, I don't have any kids. For me, getting a life insurance policy was more about, hey, I want to make sure that my mom You know, if something happened to me, she's taken care of, right? She
Mm-hmm.
has my, you know, she doesn't have to come out of pocket. Um, you know, kind of lost my train of thought. Yeah, there's not really, I'm not sure if there's really a way to prepare. I think it's just so much of doing it. Like, you know, who doesn't want to protect their kids, right?
Right.
Um, who doesn't want to, you know, look out for their family and make sure that they're taken care of, right? I
Right.
believe every single one of us wants to leave some type of benefit or something, you know, to whether it may be our kids or our parents, right? Nephews,
Mm-hmm.
nieces, you know, brothers and sisters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think so. To answer your question, I think it comes down to, hey, I have someone that loves me. I have someone that I love, and if I were to leave today, they need to be taken care of.
Yes, I agree exactly. They need to be taken care of. I mean, they really do. Because who else is
Mm,
going to take care of them? They need to be
yes,
taken care of.
absolutely.
I agree.
Absolutely.
All right. All right. Number 4. Who are some people I should talk to in preparing for the unexpected?
Um, you should talk to everyone. Actually, I even know when I'm out in the field and I'm selling insurance, I even ask people. I ask them. Well, I don't really ask them if they have insurance. I kind of try to get them to tell me that they have
Mhm.
life insurance, and and this is another thing that a lot of people need to understand and know. Um, a lot of I've had a lot of people say I have life insurance through my job.
Uh-huh.
Um,
I've heard that before too.
yes, that is true, but what you're most likely under at your job is you're under a group life plan, and that is a term life policy. That is not a whole life. It is not a individual. So what that means is your employer holds a master policy.
Uh-huh.
And what happens is if you were to retire or if you were to get laid off or if you just go to another job, you no longer have life insurance coverage.
Yeah.
Like the only benefit that you're left with if you were to leave your job is most likely your health. I know here in Mississippi that is
Uh-huh.
definitely a state requirement. I'm not sure about other states. I think it's similar. I think it's the same. Um, so talking to everybody, I mean, you know, I even ask people, hey, do you have enough to cover your funeral? Like even if you already have insurance, um, are your kids covered? Right? Are your kids
Uh-huh.
going to school? Like how old are your kids, right? Because hey, it happens, right? Some you
It
know,
does.
someone may pass and like, hey, your kids got to get through school. You know, get them that head start. You know, make sure they're
Right.
covered through school, right? If I have a house and it's not paid off, you make sure that's covered, right? Mortgage protection. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so there's a lot of options I believe can apply to every single person you talk to. Whether it be, you know, with the exception of a minor, right? Somebody really
Right.
young. Um, but even for somebody like me, you know, having life insurance is necessary. It is a necessity. It's not an option.
No, it's
It's not
not.
an option because we're all going to die someday. So it's not an option.
Yes, I understand. You're right about that. Some may think it's an option, but to think, think back, what would you wouldn't want to have that particular burden or um, a loan, like I was saying earlier, you wouldn't want to have that loan on that particular family member or the next person in line
Hmm.
after you transition. So that's very important. So
Hmm.
I definitely agree with you on that.
Yes, I actually want to add something.
Uh-huh.
So another reason why it's so important to, you know, especially if you have kids that are like really young, right? Like
Uh-huh.
they're like between 1 and 10, like they don't really have a, they're young, right? There's there's the vision that the kids have are there, but they're not really old enough to go like, hey, I'm gonna do this. You want to make
Right.
sure, especially that you're covered because believe it or not, if you could very well hold your kids back if you're not covered. with the life insurance policy to leave something behind for them. Like I said before, make sure that you leave something behind for your kids in case you were to pass, because kids, this is my number one reason why I tell people and why I emphasize to people to get life insurance.
Uh-huh.
It's more about your family. It's more
Yeah.
about your family. It's more about your kids. To me, especially if you have kids, that's very so important. Like, I can't stress that enough, how much your kid deserves a head start in life. Like they do. They deserve to be like, hey, you know, you should be like, they deserve a future. I want to leave a legacy. You have the opportunity to make that happen for your kids, for them to leave a legacy, even for generational wealth. Like,
Exactly.
a life insurance can do that for you. And to me, that's kind of one of the most gratifying things about this job to me, is to understand, like, hey, um, this is, you have the opportunity to really help your family through
Yeah.
life insurance. So I ask you to not look at life insurance in a selfish manner. I ask you to look at life insurance as a way to protect your kids, your family, or to just leave something to your mom, dad, sister, brother, anybody. So yeah, I just wanted to add that.
Yes, and going back to where you were saying about children, speaking from experience, even if they're, because you like you said, we never know what will happen or what can happen. But if, for example, if a child is to get or experience cancer or a particular chronic illness, such as myself that I
Yes.
experienced, that's a great example of when you really need to have life insurance, because you don't never know what will happen.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure that medical things are taken care of, hospital bills and things of that nature. So that's great. It's very important and vital that in these times, like I was just sharing with you, that life insurance is a must. So it's better to be prepared than unprepared. And being unprepared, you're not able to do what you need to do or take care of what needs to be taken care of.
Yes. And I'm glad you said what you said. You said the medical aspect of, having cancer. That can be really dreadful, to your parents, or whoever is covering those bills. And
Right.
reason, so I don't sell health insurance, at least not yet. But I'm glad you said that, because people, if you're watching this video, it is vital for you to get health insurance either. Like, I don't believe that's an option either. You should definitely get health insurance. Like, why not? Life happens to all of us. There's going to be something that's going to happen. We're not immune to the type of things that we experience in our lives. So I definitely don't want to be discriminatory towards telling people, not to get life and health. You should most certainly, absolutely, you should have both of those.
Yes.
No excuses.
I totally agree. Because like I said, I know we keep saying this over and over again, but you never know what will happen.
Yes.
So that's very important. All right. Okay. All right. Number 5. What are some ways to save financially wise for the unexpected?
That's a good question too. So one of the hardest things that I've dealt with in my job has really been, so the need for life insurance is going to rise based on age. And not sure if I said that right, but what I mean is that typically older people, elderly people, are going to get life insurance. Those are pretty much like your primary customers.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, the rates, the premiums are typically higher. This is why I've talked to all my friends and my family. I'm like, hey, get this now, because when you get older, you're going to be paying a higher premium. You
Yes.
don't want to do that.
Yeah.
If you got kids and they're not covered, get them covered now. Because the premium is a lot cheaper for your kids versus when they get older. You're not probably even paying no more than $10, depending on how much coverage you get for your kids. So if you are having financial hardships, I encourage my prospects to at least get half of the coverage now.
Mm-hmm.
At least you have something, right? And do the
Right.
other half, I don't want to say later because it implies that I'm going against what I'm trying to get my prospects to understand. But if it comes to that point, yeah, let's just say get it as soon as possible. I'll say get it as soon as possible. And make sure that it is taken care of. So I'll say this for anyone who may not have any idea. So it typically, on average, costs around $15,000 for your funeral services, right? That's to get put on the ground, your tombstone, and all of that. I encourage people to at least get $10,000 of coverage, whole life coverage. And I can talk a little bit about whole life and term life, if if you don't mind.
That's
I can talk
fine.
a little bit. So whole life, this is the only thing you need to know.
Uh-huh.
Whole life insurance has a cash value. Term life does not. But term life insurance can potentially provide you with the most protection because it is cheaper or less expensive than whole life insurance. Most people, if you're in some type of debt, right, you're still paying on mortgage, you should probably get term life insurance with whole life insurance. If you're more so like, hey, the cash value sounds nice, I can build a cash value, kind of like a long-term investment, get a whole life insurance policy as well. I encourage you to get both. Get you can get as much whole life you want, but I'll say 15,000. Get $15,000 of whole life, and get the term depends. It depends on how much debt you may be in, or if you just want to make sure, like, I got a house, I paid off. I want to make sure if something happens to me in that term, that's the whole thing with term life, that this is taken care of. So those are the two types of those are two major types of life insurance. So yeah, again, we were talking about the financial. Yes, term life is less expensive. Whole life is more expensive, but whole life does have a cash value. So yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. And our last question, what are some ways that you have prepared for the unexpected yourself?
Ourselves. So again, it goes back to me understanding, as soon as I got this job, and the things that I've learned right off the bat was like, hey, I'm gonna die someday. Kind of a what's the word? Kind of a morbid way of looking at that, but it's just the reality. I actually had a cousin pass away a month or two back, someone close to me. So, for me to say anything like, wait, like, hey, I may not die soon. I don't know. Like, I don't know that. People close to me have died. Like, I've lost a friend years back. So, these are things that we can't escape. So it is important that, you make the decision now to say, hey, I need life insurance. Hey, I have kids that, I need to make sure that they're covered. I need to make sure that, if something happens to me, that I leave something behind. For me personally, it's my mom and dad and my nephews and my sister, right? I don't want to leave them. I don't want to leave that burden behind for them. I want to make sure that they're good, and set for life. So, yeah, for me personally, and just a message to anybody that is watching this, don't wait around to get life insurance, please. You're doing yourself a huge disservice. Someone you love, you have someone that you care about, and you even if you're even if you know don't have kids, right? I would persuade you to at least leave some gifts for your friends, things like that. I think that again, I think having life insurance, once you get it,
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's kind of like a relief, honestly. It's like, oh wow, like I'm covered, like I'm good. Something happens to me, and like, hey, my beneficiary is gonna get the benefits, and they're gonna be fine, right?
Right.
So
At least some stress off your shoulders.
yes, yes, and so yeah, get life insurance if you don't have it. Um, if you're if you don't have it, and you're just like want information, or I'm not trying to sell myself, but like if you are just curious about quotes and things like that, look, hey, like I am a life insurance agent, and I am here, to help you to make, the best decision for you, and to make sure that you get the coverage that you need by any means necessary. So yeah.
Okay. And you're fine. Because part of the day show was for me to, and I've mentioned this about a few times, but to those of you that are watching Moments with MWARGJ tonight, um, there are going to be moments such as today where I will be bringing special guests up, not only just to talk about certain topics, but there are going to be people that have businesses that they own or a part of, then I want to be able to help them promote it. So if you're good to do that, if you want to do that, we're done as far as the question part. So if you would like to, as far as put out more information, or if you have anything else you want to say, you're free to do that now.
Yeah. So I forgot to say this too. Yeah, I work with Liberty National, which is, part of Globe Life.
Uh-huh.
Um, so, I did say that I only am licensed to sell life insurance. We also, oh, we also, we also offer ICU policies, cash cancer policies, hospital insurance. Those are products that a lot of people don't know about. And those are actually products that really don't cost you really not much of anything, honestly. I usually tell my clients like, hey, this ICU policy that I have will not probably cost you no more than $20 a month, and
Wow.
probably less than that, and then it covers you for $1,000 a day. You're in the
Mhm.
hospital or ICU. $200 towards blood work, $200 if you need an ambulance, and I'm trying to think, $200 if you're in a regular hospital room. You're not paying, like literally, you're paying. Let's see, I think I sold a policy to a 48-year-old for like $10. That's
Wow.
it, just $10. So we have accident protectors, and we're also doing a referral program where um you could get literally, I can write you or give you a free $3,000 accidental death policy just off writing you. I don't need any, you know, obviously I need your info, like, like name numbers, social security, email, but like that. A lot of people are kind of like, hold up, no, that don't sound right. How are you giving away free? Nothing's never free. Literally, I mean, it is, because and I can show you like, hey, I am giving you this. I don't even need your bank information. I just need your basic info, and boom, you have the accidental death policy. You even get email, and you even get a text message alert that this policy is given to you. Like, who
Wow.
wouldn't want a free $3,000 accidental death policy? Right, covers you. If you're married, $3,000 each, and each of your kids are going to get $1,000 each in case you're in an accident and you died of an accident.
Wow.
So, we also have free discount cards to use at your local pharmacy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so those are some products that we have, and these are products that I offer to my prospects. Um, just give it to them. So yeah.
That's great. All right. Well, I hope that you all have enjoyed our special guest and our topic tonight. As far as being prepared for the unexpected, no, we don't know the hour or the day, but when you have your faith in God and knowing that He'll take care of you, there's nothing that you would need to worry about. I thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you right back here next Tuesday at 7 o'clock p.m. Greetings, everybody. I hope everybody has enjoyed tonight's broadcast. Hope that you have gotten something out of it. Before you get ready to get off live, I want to share a quick announcement with you, and that is get my book, A Chosen Child, A Story of a Survivor. Yes, that's me. I'm that survivor that's on that book. Yeah, it's right here. Yeah, that's me. I, at 16 years old, on December 10th, 2013, was diagnosed with a rare cancer called nasopharyngeal carcinoma, otherwise known as throat cancer. It was a rare cancer that I was diagnosed with. And on April the 10th, 2014, I was declared cancer-free. And so many years down the road, about 2 or 3 years down the road, I decided, well, let me, share my story with someone. There's someone out here that needs to hear my testimony. Somebody that may not have the same cancer that I've had, that needs to hear a word of encouragement that will help them along the process and their journey. So I wrote this book as a guide, as a resource, as a tool for not only those that are going through cancer, but those that are going through whatever journey they may be going through in life. Doesn't even have to be cancer. Could be sickness, trouble on something that they're going through in life. And so, regardless of what you're going through, you are a survivor. And what your journey is, it's a story because you are a survivor. You are, your journey is going to be a survivor, and it's going to be a story of the survivor, which is you. So I encourage you, go to my website at anthonyorgner.com/ARGJ shop and get your copy today. They are $15. Plant a seed and support me. I promise you, you will not be disappointed in getting a copy of my book. Visit my website. They are $15. And get your copy today. And even if you don't get it for you or want to get it for someone else, be a blessing to someone else and get this book. But I encourage you, I admonish you, get this book. You will not be disappointed. I hope that you all enjoy reading this book, and I look forward to seeing your name on my order list. Thank you, and God bless you.